Welcome back. Previously, I did get the detection quartz, which allows me to see chests on the minimap, so I thought, you know what, probably best I go around Crossbell, just checking to see if I can find any chests anywhere, because there could be some I've missed. There's one down there, which obviously, below this bench, you can see there is actually an exit from Geofront. So I can't get it at the moment, I need to advance further into Geofront. But there is another one on this map over here. You just saw it right there. It's right there, but it's behind something. So how do we get there? It's like, well, there's a gap there. So it's got to be somewhere in here, which is over there. So how do we get there? Da-da-da-da. So what's inside it? Eagle Eye? Wait, you don't live in Villa Raisins? Get out of here. Alright. No need for that. I mean, that's just generally rude. I honestly expected him to be napping, but, you know. Oh, you're back already. Managed to stop those delinquents? Well, about that. I think this situation might be a bit more complicated than you expected. How so? Lloyd explained everything that had happened and laid out all the facts for Chief Sergei. Interesting. Chief? Alright. I'll leave the case to you then. Wait. What? What do you mean by that exactly? Whether you're willing to continue the investigation is entirely up to you. You won't be getting any information regarding Vivace? I'm trying to remember how you guys told me to say it. Out of me. You'll have to dig for it on your own. But that doesn't make any sense. If I told you to stop the investigation, would you follow orders? What? The Mafia really is involved in this. Things are only going to get nastier. As your supervisor, the most logical step is to order you to close the case. Immediately. Now, is that what you want me to do? No. If we gave up now, I'm pretty sure we'd regret it down the road. Randy's right, especially after coming this far. I agree as well. Alright then. I doubt I'll be able to rest easy knowing you kids are getting beaten up by the Mafia. So, I'll do you a favor and introduce you to a trusty consultant of mine. A consultant? Sergei handed over a business card to Lloyd. Grimwood Law Office. Something about that rings a bell. A Crossbell, yes. It's a law office located over on West Street. It's run by a bearded lawyer named Ian. Oh, near the bakery, right? I definitely ran across him a couple of times when I used to live in the area. I've heard of him too. Mr. Grimwood provides consulting services to corporations and other businesses, right? He also frequently offers legal consultations to ordinary citizens, I think. Spot on, Ellie. Because of that box beard and build, he looks like a genuine bear. People often refer to him as Grizzly Grim. He probably has loads of info on the Mafia. Who knows? He might even have new intel that even the CPD doesn't know. Really? That's quite impressive. Just what kind of guy is this lawyer? You'll find out when you meet him. I've spoken with him previously about the SSS-related matters. He'd at least let you finish explaining why you're there if you tell him you're the Special Support Section. This is the perfect opportunity for a little meet and greet. Understood. We'll check in with him. West Street is just around the corner. Or it's right out back, one of the two. Everyone okay with paying this law office a visit? Of course. Shall we head out? Grimwood Law Office. I believe this is the place. Yeah. I've seen the lawyer who runs it in the neighborhood before. Had no idea he was well known, though. Well then, Mr. Grimwood, I'm sure we'll speak again in the near future. Of course. I'll be here anytime you need me. Can your division try to do something to solve the situation, though? Think about the impact that this will have on the citizens. Kissing the asses of the populace isn't my job, nor do I intend on it ever being. You four are... What's wrong? That's right. You're those pups that Sergei decided to adopt. Come again? Hold on, that badge. You work in the CPD too. Who I am isn't important to you. I imagine you're here to speak with Ian about something. A word of advice. Try not to waste his time. Unlike you useless rookies, he's a busy man. What did you just say? Genuinely, I didn't hear you. What did you say? Oh. Jeez, what's his problem? He looked like a detective from one of those investigative divisions. His ego is overbearing. Glasses definitely ain't a greenhorn, that's for sure. You can tell by the weapon strapped to his left hip. Seriously? I didn't even notice. Impressive observation, Randy. I detected it with my sensors. A specialized military-grade handgun, I believe. Yeah, sounds about right. Dang, guys. You two are amazing. I just managed to scope it out in the corner of my eye. More importantly, shouldn't we head inside and greet the lawyer? Oh, I nearly forgot. I'd feel kind of bad buffering him if he's as busy as that man said. Let's go on ahead and introduce ourselves. Forget something, Detective? Oh, I like the look of him. Oh, pardon me. I mistook you all for someone else. Welcome to the Grimwood Law Office. How can I help you today? Oh, I think it's the waistcoat he's got. It's just interesting. No need to hold back. If you have a question, ask away. Then again, you four look quite young. Do you have any questions about loans? Or perhaps you're looking for potential business partners? Come now, ask me anything. No, sir, it's nothing like that. This guy's got a lot of energy. So, this is the famous Grizzly Grim. I see the rumors are true. Hold on. Now that I've taken a closer look, I can't help but feel as if I've seen you somewhere before, young man. Are you one of the kids that used to live in this neighborhood? Wow, you remember me? You're right. I lived in one of the apartment complexes here about 3 years ago. Allow me to properly introduce myself. My name is Lloyd Bannings. You did live here. Yes, that explains why you look so familiar. Wait. Bannings? And you're Guy Bannings' younger brother? Huh? Yeah, I am. You knew my brother then? More than just knew him, Never mind. I suppose you're here to discuss something important. Come on in. You can fill me in on the details once we take a seat. Oh, and where are my manners? I'm Ian Grimwood, lawyer and owner of this law firm. Nice to meet you. I see. I was wondering when I would meet that special support section Sergei was telling me about. I actually read about you in the most recent issue of the Crossbell Times. You certainly showed diligence and spunk right out of the gate, didn't you? Yeah, well, they sure took some liberties with that article. The guy's younger brother's a police officer now, too. Oh, how time flies. I can only assume this is Adios's will. Mr. Grimwood, what sort of relationship did you have with Guy? Well, the same one you and I will have. guy used to drop by occasionally to share and exchange all sorts of information with me. But as I'm sure you know, he was an incredibly talented detective. I'd wager he helped me far more than I was able to help him. Please, wait a minute. Lloyd, your older brother is a detective? Was. The hell, man? Why didn't you tell us about him? Sorry, guys. Guess it never really crossed my mind. Besides, Guy's not with us anymore. Not with you. He was killed in the line of duty. About 3 years ago now. Oh, I'm so sorry, Lloyd. That explains why you left Crossbell. My deepest and most sincere condolences. Believe it or not, I've conducted my own investigations into that particular incident. Sadly, any leads that may exist elude me. I see. Well, let's just forget about his case for now. It's not why we're here. Mr. Grimwood, I've already laid out our case to you. If you have any information pertaining to Ravach and its activities, please tell us. Ravach, That unsavory group is nothing but bad news. Illegal dealings of both the Empire and the Republic. The selling of stolen goods, mirror laundering, weapon trafficking operating as the middlemen for hiring Jaegers, and that doesn't come close to scratching the surface of their crimes. However, no matter what sort of illegalities they have committed, the fact remains that they were able to take advantage of Crossbell's very unique situation. What do you mean by a unique situation? Wedged between two nations. What it means is, while trade and commerce have grown exceptionally over the past few years, Crossbell's political foundation has begun to quickly deteriorate, right? Well put. Crossbellian politics are currently in an extremely fragile state. The majority of politicians choose to align themselves with either the Empire or the Republic, and are nothing more than greedy, power-hungry leeches. There's even a bill circulating within the Diet that cracks down on the Mafia, but it won't be approved. Too many Diet members are connected to Ravach. Are you serious? Unfortunately, he is. The number of Diet members tied to the Mafia is higher than I want to admit. That is probably the reason why the police can't touch them. Reality truly can be cold and cruel. Does that mean Ravach can commit any crime they want with no repercussions? No, it hasn't gotten to that point yet. If they don't control themselves, they would end up angering a majority of Crossbellans and our surrounding nations. Yeah, you don't want to piss off Erebonian. Who knows what they might do? Therefore, Ravach has been treading a very thin line in order to avoid directly interfering with the citizenry's daily lives. As long as they don't cross that line, the police can't lay a finger on them. They may wonder why they constantly look down on people. Well, that's your answer. This can't be real. Reality ain't so pretty. Behind the city's glamorous facade are shadows hell-bent on stirring up trouble. Yes. I'm curious as to how many classified police documents detail these activities. Anyway, that's essentially all I know about Ravach. However, I need to mention the situation with the Mafia has taken a turn. Really? Could you explain? Well, according to intel the CPD just received, a new faction strong enough to rival Ravach has finally surfaced. And I don't doubt that strength. A new faction. Surely it's not the Bracer Guild, right? For all intents and purposes, the Bracer Guild is a positive establishment. This particular one I'm talking about, however, is less so. You see, there's a powerful organization that operates out of the Republic's eastern quarter. It's already managed to worm its way into Crossbell. How is that possible? You're certain of this? Yes. Previous rumors on this organization turned out to be true, so I have no reason to be skeptical now. They're called, Hayu? Just recently, a new commercial unit, registered under the name of Hayu Trading, opened for business in the Harbor District. Hayu? Quite the Eastern name. Yeah, which is always a problem for me. This could potentially escalate to a brawl between two mafias. The petty fights we've seen between the street gangs would be nothing compared to that. The calm before the storm, if you will. So far, neither group has had the audacity to make their struggle public. However, I would be surprised if they weren't already battling each other behind closed doors, using a variety of methods. The First Division seems to be keeping a close eye on the whole thing. You don't say. So the man with glasses who left right when we arrived was... Yes, that was Detective Dudley, from the First Division. Coincidentally, he was asking me questions on the same topic. A coincidence indeed. Lloyd, what's wrong? You went quiet all of a sudden. Let me guess. You noticed something. Yeah, I still need time to sort it all out in my head, though. I can relate to Lloyd. Thank you very much, Mr. Grimwood. Without your help, we wouldn't have been able to find the lead we needed to put this case to bed. That's so. I'm glad I was of assistance. Sergei has always been a tremendous help to me. So from both a personal and moral standpoint, I support your work 100%. If you ever run into any problems, you can always stop by my office and chat with me. So, what's the next course of action? Could we go back and sort through all the information we've gathered? Good idea. Before we do that, now's the time to wrap up any unfinished business we still have to take care of. Besides, if what I'm thinking is the truth behind all these incidents, let's just say we're in for a bumpy ride, alright? I appreciate the modesty, but your face is giving away your confidence. Anyhow, let's head back to the SSS building once we've crossed off everything on our bucket list. Sound good? Yes, it does. Let us make haste. Also, I was informed down in the comments that I should visit a statue every chapter. That's over on E Street, which I assume is this one, because once this guy's gone and got out the way, thank you. It does have an exclamation. There's an Eastern-looking Jizo? I knew E Street was, well, Eastern, but I can't say I was expecting them to actually be worshipping a big Jizo statue. This is my first time encountering one. It has an enormous face. What is the purpose of this counter? I imagine it's used for offerings. We can try offering any exceptional dishes we make here. Yeah, I guess we do cook for ourselves often. If we cook any especially delicious dishes, let's give this whole offering thing a try. Offer a supreme dish. Alright then. Alright, let's try bringing a different dish next time. We should avoid bringing any repeat dishes, Lloyd. One of each kind should suffice, right? Okay, sounds like a plan. What's that? A message, maybe? There's a note stuck to the bulletin board. I've got some errands to run. Wrap up the case however you see fit. Sergei. He's gone. He wants to bet that he ran away because the case seemed like a pain in the ass. We can't rule out that possibility. Perhaps, but think about it like this. It's a privilege to be given the chance to solve a case however we like, isn't it? That said, what's our plan? Should we review what we know? Yeah, definitely. To start the meeting, inspect the exclamation mark at the table. This table? Yes. Start the meeting. Let's get this meeting started then. First off, we should review all of our info that's relevant to the case. The incident took place around midnight, 5 days ago. Members of both the Saber Vipers and the Testaments were ambushed by an unknown assailant, possibly a group of assailants. However, the attacks occurred at 2 different locations in the city's downtown district. here, and here. The Testament's member was attacked in the alleyway to the west, and the Saber Viper got messed up in front of Ignis, which is towards the east. In other words, the attacks happened at opposite ends of the area. Exactly. By doing so, it made it hard for both groups to learn what happened to the other. After initial treatments in their respective bases weren't enough, the victims were sent to the hospital the next day. Weren't the victims transported there in the same ambulance? Yeah, I can only imagine how much of a shock that was to the medical staff on board. So, consequently, each group firmly believes that they were attacked by the other, which is what we confirmed today. Yeah, the only answer that makes sense is that there was a third party involved. Exactly. It's like, that seemed like the logical course of action straight away was like, there's got to be a third party. Up to something. Unless both groups rehearse their accounts, chances of either group being responsible for attacking the other are pretty slim. Agreed. Based on the evidence so far, it's safe to assume the attacks were the work of some third party. All we can do now is consider all the possibilities and rule out the ones that don't seem feasible. But you already have an idea who that third party might be, don't you, Lloyd? I do. They're the ones in control of Crossbell's criminal underbelly, the notorious mafia, Varch & Co. According to the intel Grace shared with us, someone spotted mafiosos snooping around the downtown district a few weeks ago. Unfortunately, we don't have any time to verify the credibility of that. However, let's assume Ravach was responsible for both attacks and continue our conversation. Now that just brings up the next question. What was their motive? Bingo. The answer to that is crucial. If we can't answer that, we're all the way back to square one. So it comes down to motive. There's hardly any conflict of interest between the Mafia and the two gangs. There must be a line that connects the three dots together. And once again, you already have an idea of what it is, don't you? Well, I can't say with absolute certainty, of course. I think there's one thing that connects these three factors. I mean, yeah. It's simple as that. It's like, think where East Street is and stuff like that. It's like, you can tell where they're going to have different presence and stuff like that. It's like, it's sort of like a trying to control Crossbell situation, isn't it? The only realistic possibility that comes to mind is Hayu. Alright, our grisly friend mentioned them, didn't he? That definitely seems like the most likely possibility for now. In that case, though, what about Hayu connects these three? In order to be connected, there has to be some sort of inevitability. For example, was it this connection with Hayu that made the attacks against the two gangs unavoidable? Yeah, that would explain some things. Oh? What you thinking, bud? Well, about that possibility Tio mentioned. What do you think Ravach would do if they found out Hayu was trying to establish a foothold in Crossbell? Well, I imagine they'd look to expand their combat capabilities, recruit more people and upgrade their weaponry, you know? Ravach should have no problems getting new weapons, given their known smuggling operations. But how do they go about recruiting people? Good question. Normally, you'd hire Jaegers. That's unlikely in Crossbell's case, given the constant surveillance put on us by neighboring countries. So long as the non-aggression pact stands, Erebonian and Calvard would never overlook the involvement of Jaegers. The two Diad factions representing them would likely react the exact same way too. Oh, that's it. Lloyd, could the Mafia be recruiting the gang members? Hot-blooded and more or less disciplined. Can't think of a more perfect pool of candidates to beef up the Mafia's presence in the city. And then again, they can't just barge in and choose whoever they like, now can they? Of course not. I mean, I can never see Wazzy cooperating with the Mafia. I doubt Wald would bow down to authority either, be it from Ravach or the CPD. It's clear that he is not the type of person who would allow others to boss him around. So Ravach realizes this, and plots to weaken the two gangs, intending to swoop in later and bag the remaining members. Yeah, that must be it. Remember, this is still nothing more than a theory. All we've done is bring together the facts and try to make sense of them. Ah, look at you being all modest. I think your analysis of the situation isn't too far off from the truth, Lloyd. Your reasoning was sound and logical. You certainly proved that your acing the detective exam was no fluke. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. It's decided. Our next move should be to explain our theory to those two. Don't you think? Those two? Hey, you don't mean... I sure do. Wold Whales and Wazzy Hemisphere. Leaders of the Saber Vipers and the Testaments. It's the name of the game, everyone. Station Street, near where the construction materials are stored. Asking me to come here alone in the middle of the damn night. What do those cops think they're up to? Meow. Is that the last train bound for Calvard? Yes, I believe it was. Was he?
Yeah.
Good evening, Wald. What a beautiful night to bathe in the mystic moonlight. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah, this is rich. You pretended to be one of those CPD pipsqueaks to catch me off guard. You must think you're so damn clever. Fine, bring it on, pretty boy. You want to fight? 'Cause I'm more than happy to give you one. Let's end this. You know I'm always up for a bit of late-night wrestling. But alas, I am but a mere guest at this rendezvous. The hell does that mean? Meeting, like gathering, sort of like bringing together a sort of appointment. That's what rendezvous means, yes. You'll see soon. They just arrived. What's up? Oh, I was so hoping Randy was going to be like, what's up? You punks again. Sorry to keep you waiting, guys. Oh no, it's a pleasure to be here. So, what's this fun anecdote you promised to share with us? I'm not sure if fun is the right word, but you'll at least find it interesting. Ready for me to start? Hold the phone. Anecdotes? Fun? What the hell are you two going on about? Oh, well, you're such a simpleton. What did you... Surely you remember the incident that occurred 5 nights ago. They're here to tell us who the culprit was, obviously. The culprit? What do you mean? Impressive deduction, was it? I assume you already had your own suspicions? Well, at first, I thought that one of my members may have gone a little cuckoo. But as I started to sort things out, I realized that something was off about the whole situation. It goes for the Saber Viper side too. Sadly, that's as far as my reasoning could take me. Well, that simplifies the explanation a bit. Old Wales. I know there are still gaps in our theory. Still, would you listen to what we've found so far? Fine. Keep it short. Waste a minute of my time and I'll bash that baby face of yours in. Jeez. And that's what we've come to with the information on hand. Any thoughts? My, how unexpected. To think that we played right into the Mafia's hands. Does that mean you agree with Lloyd's theory? But of course. After all, we've Archers sent some of their agents to visit us already. They asked us to work with them, promising us the moon and stars for our service. Needless to say, I immediately turned them down and sent them on their merry way. Well, that's good to hear. That settles that side then. So, Wald, were you also tempted into collaboration with the Mafia? Yeah, about a month ago. They were acting all high and mighty, so I decided to show them what real strength looked like. Sent them packing real fast. Can't believe they actually had the balls to pull a fast one on me like this. Wazzy, I'm postponing our duel. First, I gotta warm up by crushing the smug mugs of those mobsters. Wait, you can't. Such a short temper. Calm down, Wold. Acting recklessly will just lead to... The last time was merely jest, but you really are a simpleton. Say that again. You know perfectly well that you don't stand a chance against the Mafia on your own. Just imagine it. The leader of the Saber Vipers, Wold Wales, waltzing into the Mafia's sights like a pig to slaughter. You have no chance. Oh, shut it already. We don't know what'll happen till we try. Maybe you could survive. What about your poor little Vipers? Can they catch bullets with their teeth? What do you propose we do then, you bony wise-ass? You really expect me to just sit here and swallow the shame of having our men hurt like that? Huh? Of course I don't. It's likely just a handful of mafiosos were involved in this particular scheme. I say we give them a crash course on how us guys in the downtown district operate. Or maybe us from Arteria. Come the final exam, they'll realize exactly who they're messing with. I'll require your help, though, Wald. You need my help? Hold on, you two. What are you planning? You'd do anything to break the law. Oh, relax. You'll be playing the teacher's assistants after all. We're going to be what now? Isn't it your responsibility to resolve the conflict brewing in the downtown district? I'd claim that makes it your obligation to properly educate the Mafia into leaving everyone down there alone. For good. Do correct me if I'm wrong, Lloyd. Well, what exactly is Wazzy talking about? Don't quite understand either. Sounds to me like he's just taken advantage of poor Lloyd. Remember, it was you who bothered to call us out here to share your grand theory. Isn't it only natural to see this case through?